Hey, what's up, everyone? Patio Slave Podcast, episode 26, September 2nd. Anthony here. I'm here with Tony and Nate. How you guys doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm on vacation.
Nice.
And where are you?
I'm in Maine.
No.
My home state.
You're in Maine?
Yes.
What the hell, man? We should be doing this in person.
Oh, we should do this in person.
Shit.
In fact, let's just do it in person right
All
now.
right, let's do it in person. Oh,
All
hey,
right.
what's up, man?
Oh, what up?
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is our first all in person. Tony and I did a couple of the early episodes in person, but Nate's visiting the East Coast, and we're all in person doing a socially distanced podcast. So we got a cool episode. This one's going to be a little different. This is going to be, we're going to weave in the fact that we're all in the same place. We got a short set list for you guys, but then the main segment. What is the main segment, Tone?
The main segment, Nerdery Grab Bag. And Nate will tell you about that in just a second. First off, hit us on the socials, at Patio Slave on Twitter and Instagram. Email is patioslavepodcast@gmail.com. So there'll be, I think there was something we were talking about that we need an answer to. So if you know it, hit us up. And then check the socials for some fun stuff this weekend. I'm sure we'll be promoting the hell out of this one. So, yeah, with that being said, Nate, what is Nerdery Grab Bag?
Nerdery Grab Bag is essentially, I don't even know, 25 years of nerdery.
Swag. It looks like it, at least.
Yeah, you're looking at it. 2 huge treasure troves of promotional, all the stuff we talk about on this podcast. Promotional stuff, stickers, signed stuff. I see a drumstick in there somewhere. In fact, I see concert photos, a tour book. But, yeah, the purpose is actually not look at it too much because it's essentially supposed to be like a random grab bag. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Just going to reach our hand in there, pull something out, and I'm sure there's a story behind it. Nate'll definitely have a story because it's mostly his stuff here, but I would imagine that at least one or two of us were at whatever event he got the thing at. So that'll be fun. I'm excited to do that. But we do have a couple setlist items first. The first one was that Papa Roach news. You guys see they're going to live stream the whole album process on Twitch. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did see it. You sent an article over on it, and yeah, the whole premise is they're going to take over Twitch. And is it going to be like a 24/7 type of thing, or just while they're in there, they'll live stream it? Is it in real time, I assume?
I think the album process stuff, yes. I don't know how if it's going to be like the real world where it's on 24/7. You know, 4 band members get COVID tested and then start trying to make an album. And yeah, let's see, start getting real, that type of shit. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but I mean, when we were talking Nate was unsure of who, and we couldn't find it in our quick Google search. Somebody else may have done something like this in the past, I'm sure. There's been plenty of bands that have done it in the moment and then released it later as a DVD, like Saint Anger. That was the one that Metallica did, right? There's Some Kind of Monster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been some people that have done something like this, but I like the idea of the in the moment live stream.
Yeah, during the progress of the album. I'm trying to jog my memory. I think earlier I said it's Blink, but now I'm thinking it might be Angels and Airwaves that had done it.
That makes sense.
Because
I can see that.
yeah, because Tom had Mod Life. That was like a live Ustream type platform back in the day. So yeah, if anyone knows, hit us up because we want to think that this is kind of a first time event with Papa Roach, but could have sworn this has been done before. And we're nerds, so the fact that we don't know off bat is challenging, but we'll figure it out.
I think maybe a little bit of a different take. I hate this move. I don't like it.
Really? Okay.
I don't like it. So, and where my head goes is, and I know I always say that, but for me to want to check this out, like conceptually, it would have to be a band I love. So if I think of bands in that category, I think of like Deftones. If Deftones did this, I feel like you would have heard the album before it comes out, and it would have spoiled it. So like we talked about this earlier, Metallica, Some Kind of Monster.
Yep.
It was all obviously pre-streaming for the most part, and you saw the recipe how it was made after you tasted it. But now it's like, what if I don't like some of those ingredients?
Good point. Yeah, that I hadn't thought of it that way. My mind went to a couple of different bands, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But yeah, that you may not like it. It may turn you off on wanting to either listen to it on its own conceptually or to purchase anything related to it when it comes out. So yeah, that I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah, I love that. I think I'm where you're at, and I'm actually thinking of 2 different things. There's one thing that happens when you're seeing a band that you admire or whatever, and you see like their real personality, and you're like, oh, man, these guys suck. You know, the Metallica.
This guy's a dick.
Yeah, this guy's a dick or whatever. But then there's the other side that's like you look at photos of the album making process and so forth, and you see like this marker board with like the track list and all these songs that didn't make the album. So I'm like, the cool part of that is you would hear songs or see songs being produced that you're like, oh, that should have made the album. That was the deep cut that should have made the cut. So there's two sides of the coin, but ultimately I think I'm with you, Twan, where it's like, this is like a reality show. It never ends well. You know, there's always some kind of aftermath. It's never positive with the reality thing. So
yeah, now I'm waffling here. Obviously, I see both the not wanting to hear it or see the personality maybe of some of the band members, but I also see like, yeah, it would have been cool to see how they turned the beginning of that song into a song that I end up loving, right? So that would be cool. That's tough though. I'm not sure if there's a right answer there. I guess it does depend on the band for me too, and I do want to throw it to you guys because I got a couple in mind, but there are bands that obviously, like Twan said, Deftones. We would love to watch them do this. Is there anybody else that comes to mind for you, Nate, that you might want to watch have this happen?
Like recording an album in real time?
And on the Twitch stream, like you get to see everything.
Oh, I don't. I wouldn't want to watch Deftones. That was my.
You wouldn't, okay. But like, is there anybody that
that I would?
Say you wouldn't worry about the not liking it. It's going to be an album that you're going to love. We'll just throw that hypothetical into this. Give me a band that you would want to watch it. Like anybody that you love the album. Maybe go back in time.
All right, this is kind of a funny one, and the reason I thought of them is because I have a poster in the room we're in is Hatebreed. So everyone criticizes Hatebreed because every riff sounds the same. I'd love to see. I think it's not Sean Martin anymore. It's Frankie Three Guns, I think. One of those dudes, the guitarist of the band. I'd love to see their creative process where it's like,
how did you come up with the same riff again?
Yeah, it's so similar to the last one, and it's like, I like Josh is like, yeah, that's the one, you know.
That's awesome.
So that'd be kind of fun.
I got one if you're not ready, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in Twan's headspace where it's like I don't want to see it because I don't want it to tarnish, what I like. But at the same time, seeing the process for a band you may not like might be the one that I would answer because it's like, oh, okay, I want to see how this process goes, and are their faces like, holy crap, like a Disturbed album, like is that riff or that growl that you did, David Draymond, like that you really nailed it that time.
I was gonna do one, but it's not gonna sound good, so I won't. Okay, so I took it like this. How long was it between 10,000 Days and Fear Inoculum for Tool?
Oh, yeah.
If they were on camera for 14 years and we just had like Maynard crushing grapes with his feet and Danny Carey just playing drums by himself in Cape Elizabeth, wouldn't that be kind of funny if you had 14 years of this live stream because they thought they were going to have an album that maybe a year or two and it just kept going and going and going? That would have been kind of crazy.
That would be like the ultimate like National Geographic style album process. Like, okay, this is hibernation.
What was that movie that Richard Linklater came out with a few years ago, Boyhood, that he like grew up with the kids, so it took him 12 years to make? It'd be like that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you could see like the aging process of the band members.
Like they go on tour, but there's still like people are like asking them because we saw him during this time a couple times.
Yeah.
And hey, where's the new music? Like, we're working on it. Check this Twitch.
That would be interesting. Tool's a good one, because I mean, you would see firsthand like, oh, it's not a rumor. Like these guys literally hate each other, unfortunately.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, or they're just not together.
Yeah,
it's just this empty studio space with a live stream, collecting dust
for 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, there's a band. Well, A Day to Remember. They on the album they put out like 5 or 6 years ago. There's a track where like the first 10 seconds is a clip from them in the studio, and it's the guitarist playing the riff that they end up going with in the song, and it's the singer reacting, saying, "That's it."
Nice.
So like that's kind of cool. You get those moments of like the creative process. But yeah, it reminds me of like the David Draymond thing where it's like I don't want to hear like that dude try to hit the note 6 times. You know what I mean? On the 6th try, like I think it would expose people.
Yeah,
probably,
especially if it's real time.
Yeah, it probably would.
I mean, that's what the bonus footage is on like certain albums, where like they splice a few things at the end, like bloopers or like making of the album or even making of the video for that matter, which is like cool on our nerd level, but it's very like picky choosy. Like we'll use this even if it is embarrassing because it's kind of a one-off. But yeah, to see the whole process, yeah, you would probably see more bands break up. Like, fuck this shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and that happens a lot, right? I mean, bands just get sick of each other and stop doing it. There aren't a lot of bands still kicking around the way Papa Roach is doing it this far into their career, 20-something years, 27 years or whatever. But, I mean, I can see that picking and choosing piece, because when we make promo videos for our Instagram, like I'm cutting something that looks good, right? We're finding a piece that sounds nice and not the stumbling blocks that we have while we're recording or whatever. So makes sense to me.
You know what genre would struggle with this is hip hop, because like Eminem on Rap God, that wasn't the first take, and in fact, that's not one continuous take. That's spliced, and it would I think it would devalue a lot of your favorite MCs, because a lot of them just go in the booth, maybe a few takes, and then they're out. I mean, there's obviously a lot of prep work with, the flow and the lyrics and stuff. But once they have that, so it depends on where the starting point would be.
That's true. Another thing too is it would probably, unfortunately, highlight drugs and alcohol too much. It's just like, in the studio. Yeah, Scott Weiland's coming in strung out. Like, I don't know if I want to see that.
Yeah, and we saw that firsthand too. So the Weiland stuff. Years, probably, 8 years ago now, right?
Yeah.
I think we talked about that a couple episodes back. But yeah, it would. You're right. It would probably shine a light on some of that. So my thought here is then maybe it's not the 24/7, right? It's got to be something along the lines of when they're in the studio and they feel like it's good, they'll have, all right, turn the Twitch on, let's go, as opposed to having it on the entire time.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. Not to mention the fact that when you're being recorded and you're aware of it, no matter what, you act differently. It doesn't matter. So, like, I'm trying to think. We've geeked out on different subjects here. So, legality-wise, like, there's two-party states and non-two-party states. And two-party states, when you're being recorded, you act differently. It's just the way it is. If you don't know that you're being recorded, like, you're as candid as can be. So, the only way this would really work and have it be, like, very real is if they had no idea they were being recorded and you see this magic happen in real time. Otherwise, it's like, it's going to be some degree of
and what if they said something, just the tiniest little bit of a joke that somebody got offended by? It's just such a double-edged sword. You can't do that, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. It'd be the only way that it would be real candid.
Yeah. So no matter what, that's why I brought up the reality show thing. It's like it never ends well. People always get, there's always some like massive PTSD for the people that are on the show, and it's never a pretty picture. So I don't know. I'm with you, Twan. I don't know if I like this idea at all.
It'd be one of those things too. Like I feel like the producer world is like super secretive, and like Ross Robinson and who's the Beastie Boys guy?
Ruben.
He doesn't want his shit out there, so it'd be certain producers that would even sign up for this.
Yeah. Totally. Everybody would have to be on board and probably signing stuff beforehand, and
But for Papa Roach, like, I don't know, I haven't followed them in a lot of years, but I assume they're past their prime. Like, this is a good move for them, I feel like.
It's something different.
Yeah.
And they've been doing different stuff all year, I feel like. Just following them on Twitter, you see they've re-recorded some stuff from Infest, which turned 20 this year. They did a big live stream the weekend that it came out, back in early August maybe. I can't remember. It was fairly recently. That was cool. I watched a couple of snippets. I didn't pay for it, but I mean, they're just trying to stay viable in this tough time. So coming up with different ideas and doing something, maybe not new, but trying something new for them.
Is this behind a paywall? Do we know?
I don't know. Twitch is free, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. A lot of people are on Twitch. A lot of people do Twitch. I don't understand it. It started as a video game?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, it was just watching people play video games, which I never understood. And that's got to be a generational thing. We're just a little too old for that, but it's huge. And now people do all kinds of things.
Although I do like watching Tetris on YouTube.
That's true, yeah. Tetris is fun. I'm pretty good at Tetris, so.
If there is a paywall, that'll even change the dynamic once again. You know what I mean? There's a incentive behind the scenes. It's like a OnlyFans, music production. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Twan, you like watching Tetris on YouTube. I'm just gonna start live streaming on Twitch, I guess, when I play. See if people want to watch.
Hell yeah.
See what happens. Couldn't hurt, right? I'll just say podcast every half an hour.
Yeah, plug it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we don't think they're the first artist to do it, but I think in this era, in these times, it feels like they're the first to go down that path.
With what's going on right now, I would say, yeah, they're probably it. As far as we know, anyway, in our world, in the rock world.
I wonder, are they piggybacking, was the success of the live stream maybe kind of conducive to this, possibly. I don't know.
Could be.
Kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it could be. They may have gotten a bigger pot from that than they thought, and they were like, let's put more online.
Yeah.
Stuff to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's telling of the times because you can't tour, and I've heard of like some underground shows in like New York that have like it's come out after the fact that shows have happened, and there's been repercussions for venues and bands and stuff like that. So you can't play live. So this is, outside of the live stream, this is another way to generate hype and demand. So I don't hate that angle of it, but let's be real. If Deftones did this, I'd probably watch it.
Oh yeah, we'd all watch. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it becomes specific to the band. Well, this is a great segue into what's going on for live music, though, because live music's obviously very dire right now. So this is like almost like a middle ground for, okay, let's record the album. We'll at least record this. But live venues are kind of in jeopardy right now, right, Dawn?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this for the last, 6 weeks?
Yeah.
6
months, man. Plus.
Yeah, the start of this podcast was basically when COVID started. I mean, we didn't start COVID, but...
Yeah, we didn't start the COVID. It was always burning.
Wasn't us. Wasn't me.
Wasn't me. So, yeah, we checked out an NPR article, which was titled, Financially Vulnerable Independent Music Venues Worry of Having to Sell. So one of the things that we've talked about on this pod a lot is the prospect of a lot of venues shutting down. We haven't really touched upon the angle of folks trying to jump off the ship before it sinks type of thing and just sell it off. So what was this? You guys read the article?
Yeah.
What was the gist?
Basically, there were a couple of people that were from the bigger market, like Live Nation-y type world, saying, yeah, we need some venture capitalists or Jeff Bezos to come in and buy up these indie venues to keep them going.
Literally. He said Bezos.
Yeah. And in theory, I think that is sort of noble. In practice, it would be terrible for the music industry. Totally. You're corporatizing those indie venues, and the indie venues are the come up for so many bands that we all love, and we still see some of those bands play some of those venues to this day because they're just the places you want to see those bands. They're tiny. They're 1,000. They're 1,500 people, maybe less. Our favorite, local one, the State Theater in Portland, Maine. I don't know how many great shows I've seen in that small venue, from Queens of the Stone Age to Thrice to whoever, Atmosphere, etc. So I don't want that to be the State Theater presented by Amazon because now they're trying to sell stuff to me when I'm walking into the door. They're selling stuff while I'm in the bathroom. They're selling stuff everywhere, right? It's going to happen like that.
You're walking
out
with groceries.
You don't have to swipe to pee, right? Yeah, Whole Foods is at the kiosk. Like, no, that's my worry about this. If it goes that way, is all these little clubs lose their soul.
100%. Yeah, it takes the soul out of it. 100%. Yeah, anytime you go to a Target or a Walmart and they have their own brand, you're like, oh man, they're capitalizing on the whole supply chain, So when it's an independent brand with a retailer, at least there's some separation there. But if it's like Live Nation or Amazon Concerts presents the Amazon band or whatever, you're like, God damn, this is like overkill right now. Like, yeah, it gets to be a little redundant over time. But there was a few episodes ago, I can't remember which one, when I lived in New York City and there was the Nokia Theater.
Yeah.
Right? And every time I went there, I was like, oh, man, this venue is like as clean as it gets. Like, we love the dirty, dingy clubs, right?
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah. So there's that independent band, independent venue. That's the full circle of nerdery. But the corporate take on it, I mean, we kind of called it. So I really hope it doesn't happen. This is the one I don't want to get right. But, yeah, it would be really hard to digest if the State Theater becomes the Amazon Theater, because they would retrofit the whole thing. It wouldn't be old stadium seats. It would be like,
Or any of those cool little dingy clubs that you've been to across the country. I know you've talked about those ones, like, was it Belly Up in San Diego?
Yep.
That's independent, right?
Totally, yeah.
I mean, that gets corporatized and changed, and it becomes Belly Up presented by Spotify. And I don't know if I want that. And then they're going to force the bands on you that they want to promote. And you see that happening now with podcasts with Spotify, right? They're forcing Michelle Obama on everybody, which is cool. We're not going to get political here, but it doesn't. It squashes the little guy that's trying to make their way to the top, right? And that's what we are. We want. Hey, I would love for them to promote one of our tweets. How cool would that be? Like, I don't even know. I haven't unlocked it yet. I've been trying. I've been trolling. I've been saying nice things. None of it works. But it's just Michelle Obama every day.
Well, it's like Joe Budden, who has a Spotify deal. It's ending. He made a joke on his last episode where he's like, apparently you got to be the president's wife for your own company to promote you. And they're like a top-rated podcast. But what was interesting about the article is they said that they would go with themes. So like the Amazon country bar or something. No. And it's like, how would you, there's certain geographies where that would be clear cut, but then others, they probably wouldn't even go down that road. They just have a generic, the Amazon rock bar.
Or they'd buy all of them up in that city, and one would be the rock bar, and one would be the hip hop place, and one would be the country place. Like, we have a couple of small venues in Portland. I could totally see those being. The State Theater is the country one, because we probably would sell that pretty well, or the rock one, depending on what you look at for numbers, and then making one hip hop and the other smaller one maybe something different. So, yeah, I don't want that. That sounds terrible.
For good comparison, this reminds me of like Disney World, right, where they have like the themed like sections of the plaza.
Is that Epcot Center?
Epcot Center, exactly.
Where I was going.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is your Spanish area or this is your European area, and it's like very obviously artificial. That makes sense for that kind of environment. But if that becomes that for music, like, man, it's gonna be pretty dire. That'll be hard, because if you're in it for the real true roots of music, it's just not how it goes down.
Well, then you don't find those bands that you grew up with. Like, I feel bad for people growing up with music right now. Yeah. Obviously, because the times right now are difficult. But even before that, it's all, what the handful of radio stations that they hear, and or they've got to find it themselves. They're not going to a show and seeing the opener and liking the opener and becoming a fan of them, and then going down that rabbit hole at the record store like we did. So I feel bad for that. Like, that was a really fun way to discover music. And if it continues to be curated the way that it's being curated with corporate interests involved, we're going to get force-fed stuff we don't want.
The other reality is it was a promoter that was interviewed in the article, and he's basically just saying, like, this is another way for greedy hands to get in a bigger pool and a different pool. And what would happen with this is you'd have an extension of the same Walmart, Amazon, Spotify practices, who the creators get screwed. So these big boys are going to get paid. And again, it gets back to the Walmart example where, like, you go into Walmart knowing you're getting screwed, but there's more eyeballs on you, so you think it helps your greater. It's a longer play.
Or Ticketmaster, right?
Or Ticketmaster.
The Ticketmaster venue.
Yeah, same thing. So if I'm Queens of the Stone Age and I'm heading to Maine and I'm going to the 1,500 cap Amazon State Theater, and that's the only possible place I could play in Maine, it's a moral thing of, like, do you just say no? I don't want to give them money, but I screw my fans over? I don't know. It's a tough one.
I think, it gets volleyed back to the artist as to how they want to handle that. And obviously, COVID aside, it's going to be difficult for them to figure out where to go and how to make their money. That's where they make their money right now. And now, if this goes this way, where the big box store buys all these venues, they're going to get cut out of that too. And it's like, we're never going to have anybody want to be a musician again. And I don't want to live in that world, man. That sounds terrible.
The Queens of the Stone Age example is fantastic, because when Queens of the Stone Age went from club to theater, it's a natural progression. But they stayed at the theater level for so long. So when they rolled through LA, they were, on I think 2 album cycles ago, they played like the Forum, which is huge. But in San Diego, they played a dirty, dingy theater. And I was like, sweet, I'm so happy I live in San Diego. So they clearly had like that incentive, like, hey, like, you guys are big enough to play arenas if you really want to. But I know you guys really like the theaters. So they're kind of in that divide. So for the LA, the major market, they're like, all right, screw it, we'll do the giant arena.
Yeah.
So that kind of reminds me of that, because it's like, you have that pressure because you have to make ends meet. Mm-hmm. You fill more seats, you make more money, or you say yes to Amazon's, arena, and they pay you twofold. It's like playing a casino or something like that. And you're like, I don't want to be the band that plays casinos, but I gotta make this work. So
they gotta make the money. They're
yeah,
trying to keep food on the table too, and a roof over their head. And it's, I mean, the big artists, this isn't gonna bother them. Even if they go independent, this isn't gonna bother them because those venues will shell money out to have them in the big venues when those are open again, right? Like Taylor Swift's not gonna be hurting for this. Drake's not gonna be in trouble, but it's those mid-level to down people coming up that this is just gonna step on them and keep it really hard for them to break on through to that second level or that higher level that they should be getting to.
It does make you appreciate, like last episode we had Beer Punks, Justin on, and a lot of those venues are outdoors, which a lot of them it's at like fairgrounds and stuff where, I think those type of venues, the Bezos and the Spotify's would stay away from. But I think where it would be interesting is like, who was it? Pennywise or NoFX, where they wanted to keep the prices low.
NoFX.
Yeah. Yep.
That'd be tough to do under like
wouldn't be up to them
Bezos's ballroom venue or
wouldn't
whatever.
Be up to them, right?
So I think you'd see more of the outdoor stuff, and you'd rely on the independent promoters and stuff.
Or basement shows. VFW halls, stuff like that we've talked about in the past with different genres and different bands getting their come up that way. It'd be really underground, like legitimately underground again.
Yeah. I think that's what this showcases really is what we talked about a few episodes ago as well, which is the Bandcamp version of this kind of, industry need, which is like, hey, if you want to keep things the way they were or the way the fans really want, there needs to be a platform to be conducive for this. So someone, maybe it'll be Nerdery Productions, that has some kind of way to acquire these venues and not have it go to Ticketmaster and Live Nation, where we still have that layer of independence and keep things real. And obviously we'll have to adapt with the situations that are going to be going forward with COVID and all the regulations that fall into place. But if not, they'll be swallowed up in a heartbeat. So there needs to be someone that comes in that rivals that, and there'll be that crowd that understands what we're talking about, which is great because people that love music are in that realm. We're in that category. So
yeah, I mean, it could force the return of DIY.
Yeah.
Discord records, just completely do-it-yourself type of stuff, and say fuck you to the big boys and outdoor pop-up shows. I'm here for that.
Yeah, I mean, that was big, 40 years ago?
Yeah.
Are we on the verge of another one of those times? Because we very well could be. Are we going to be the old guys in the pit? Like, shit, we might be.
History does repeat itself. You never know.
Yeah, it really does. That was interesting.
It makes me worried, though. I mean, that's
too.
That's the take. That's the punchline for me. It's like Amazon's market cap and their stock price. It's like they don't need anything else. Stay out of everything else.
I could see Apple getting into this.
Yep.
They haven't decided to really wade into the podcast world the way Spotify has. Couldn't you see Apple saying, "Yep, it's the Apple Theater now at all these different places"? And I have an iPhone. I have a Mac. I use the product. I don't want that. I don't want them to be the gatekeepers of everything I do.
No, totally. I mean, for physical goods in LA, there's the Dolby Theater, and they outfitted it with Dolby, equipment, obviously. So it was like the best of the best for their, supply. But that doesn't always transcend. I mean, Spotify, the Amazon Theater, like, what does that mean? They just have, they undercut wholesale on everything that's going into the venue. Like,
good craft beer will be in there, right?
Yeah.
I got a prediction.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Spotify scoops up venues. Then they have the equivalent of Spotify Records, where they exclusively stream.
Yep.
They will only let their artists tour through the venues, so it's a monopoly play.
It's like ESPN was with 10 years ago when they only let ESPN personalities on ESPN podcasts. Like, they didn't venture out of the bubble. Everything will stay in the Spotify bubble. That's what you're saying? That makes sense. Amazon could do that too.
That's a great prediction because that's basically the new Ticketmaster and Live Nation, right? They own everything.
They just become a gatekeeper.
I don't know how they continue to spend all this money.
Oh, it's bananas.
Like we talked about it 2 weeks ago. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't want any of these places to close. So and there's some people in reading the article that have levied their houses against their venues. I don't want those people to be homeless because their venues went under because Congress didn't give them any relief. But yeah, that I don't necessarily want Spotify to be the reason that, or the people that allow me to see what music I want to see.
It's crazy. Spotify, in the public eye, is worth $52 billion.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
And they're not profitable.
They've never turned an annual profit.
How
From
long,
what we read a couple weeks ago.
How long have they been a company?
Oh, jeez.
7-8 years. Maybe?
7-8 years.
Oh, longer than that.
Yeah.
10.
Oh, you think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I think around. I remember they were like the first streaming music. I remember people talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8 or 9 years probably. Yeah.
That's
And they've
insanity.
obviously become this massive destination for a bunch of different people. I mean, you saw the Rogan's now all over there now for
Totally.
the most part.
Yep, with the
Kinda,
with the
sorta,
video
maybe.
platform. With the video platform that one of you guys predicted. I can't.
Oh yeah,
Is that you? Yeah.
That would have been me. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
We do predictions here?
Yeah. Well, you just made one.
We have right predictions a lot of times. We've done that a few times.
99%. I think we're at right now.
But the Rogan, and this is a tangent we talked about a little before. The Rogan thing is funny because they didn't turn everything over to
Yeah.
Spotify. They cut out some stuff, which is a little interesting. So Spotify meddling in what Rogan has put out over the last 13 years, and he's the king of podcasts, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and they're now telling him that, episode 932, we're not going to put that in there. Episode
That's crazy.
1057, don't like that guest, not going to put that in there either. So they're already curating a little bit, which is scary.
Wow. Well, that's like Twitter kind of. If there was a new Twitter, they would kind of erase all the stuff that's going to be controversial, like blackface or something like that, where it's like,
Right.
oh, crap, this is going to not only tarnish you, but it's going to tarnish our brand, so therefore it's out. But, yeah, that is censorship at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Right?
and I mean
So-
that's this is tangent city at the
Tangent.
moment, but but the Rogan thing, like he has always just said, I'll have a conversation with whoever, right?
Totally.
And now Big Daddy Spotify, who paid him $100 million, is saying we don't like all those things
Yep.
that all those people you talk to, so I'm gonna cut some of that out. We're not gonna get too political on this, but it's interesting. It's interesting to see that that's what's happening when. I mean, his core fans. I wouldn't call myself a core fan. I do listen to him when he's got somebody on I like, but I don't like that. Like, I like people being able to talk to whoever they want to, have the conversation, learn something about somebody on the other side that you may not have liked to begin with, and just kind of grow and learn from that.
Yeah, the reality with that is he had to have been in the know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you drop $100 million or whatever it was, you're not going to surprise the golden child of podcasting.
Yep.
And if they did, then there's just no
Weird.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But honestly, it's $100 million, and he's moved to Texas, so he gets to keep a lot of that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying
Oh,
that
we
it's
do.
an interesting play as far as what he's built himself to be
Yeah.
over these 13 years of building that podcast empire to, here comes the highest bidder. Yeah, you can meddle with my old shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's weird to me.
No, you said it. Because he mentions it all the time. He says, nothing's changing. It's staying the same. This is just a licensee deal and whatever. But, I mean, it changed even within the context before it moved to Spotify, because it used to be live. Then they said you can't be live anymore because, well, A, you got to run ads all the time, right? And B, because there's so much controversial stuff that can happen in real time, or just straight up, mistakes and stuff that, they went from live to not live. I remember when that happened. I remember the day it happened. I was like, oh, man,
This
the
is
live
different
thing's
now.
so great. This is live.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
It will be, but someday.
So, in that situation, and I haven't listened to one since this news,
Mhm.
and it's December 1, I think. He's exclusively on Spotify, so
Yeah.
we're 4 months away.
Okay, I was curious why
3 months away.
the Miley Cyrus video was still on YouTube. But
I think it's December
yeah,
1 that
December
he's
1.
exclusively. Everything will be there. It's probably there too, but I think that's why it's still on YouTube at the moment. So, and it'll probably get pirated like Alex Jones does, right?
Totally.
There'll be somebody will put it on YouTube still, but different point. My thought there is, if that's the case, what are we? Are his ads going to be completely different? Are they going to be interspersed throughout? Because the great thing about his podcast right now is that you fast forward through that first 7 minutes and you don't get an ad again until the end. Like, you get the conversation for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, Nate said this to us before, and it makes sense. He'll subliminally toss some stuff out there. It'll be talked about in a
Oh,
different
God.
way, but it'll be part of the conversation as opposed
Right.
to, Bill Simmons, where he says, let's take a break and we'll talk about whatever, and then he comes back.
Yeah, it breaks the flow.
Stamps.com
Yeah.
in the middle, and you're
He's
just
a little
fast
more
forward.
organic with it, and
Yeah,
I do feel like he curates the ads where it's like
Yeah.
stuff he uses and stuff.
totally.
Like Miller Lite. I love Miller Lite. Just, throwing it out there, Miller Lite.
I was gonna say, once you start paying attention to what he's plugging, it's actually more consistent than you think.
It's probably
it's kind of like I would say I should do a little project on this, but it seems like it's every like 10 minutes there's some kind of plug.
You're probably right.
Yeah,
you're probably right. I probably just don't pay enough attention to it as it's happening.
I pay attention.
They're 3-hour episodes, so I kind of zone out sometimes.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. It's I'm in the car and I'm daydreaming.
I'm dialed on what they're talking about, but also that stuff because A, for notes, and B, just like, damn, how much money is this guy really making? Like, fuck.
Well, and you market a little bit yourself, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So.
Tangent. That was a tangent.
Yeah, this may be the tangent episode.
It's really the benchmark in this state of podcasting. You know, podcasting is still, air quotes, relatively new, and he's kind of set the benchmark. And well, maybe it's not the benchmark. Maybe he just took all the money. I don't know. Yeah,
he may have just made it harder on everybody else. Spotify goes belly up in 3 years because, well, we shouldn't have signed Rogan to a $100 million deal, and then lopped off everything he did.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Howard Stern contract all over again, basically.
Yeah, right? You're right. That's a good point, man. I didn't think of it that way because he is completely different than when he first started at Sirius.
Yeah.
He's a different human being now, and people get older and mature and change the way they do things. But those old Stern shows, when we first got Stern in Southern Maine in 04, 05, right as he was going out of radio. Like, I think it was The Bone or whatever, one of those stations, picked him up in the morning. And I loved it. I would drive to my class in college, which was about 20 minutes away from where I lived, and just listen to Stern. And I would leave early and sit in the car for half an hour because I loved listening to Stern. But now I wouldn't even listen to it. It's completely different.
Yeah, I mean, the relevance is always there with, like, it's the Green Day Kerplunk records Lookout records to Reprise. Like, they change. You change, right? You go major, you change, unfortunately. Sometimes, fortunately, it worked out for them financially. Some good albums there and there, too, obviously, too. But, we know where that goes off. Man.
Cool. We want to... these two huge boxes sitting in front of me want to be dug into right now.
They're like treasure chests.
They're
of just straight
I took a
up
picture. I'll put a picture on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you'll see them throughout the weekend. I'm sure on social media. We'll show you some pictures of stuff. But yeah, who wants to go first? Nate, it's your stuff. You should go first, man.
Well, just as a little precursor to anyone listening, and if you take more photos, there's some straight up gems in here. I'm talking like, and I try not to go through it too much. What I was trying to do is separate the gold from the junk. And then I realized it's all gold because it's all nerdery, But there's like signed posters in here that are worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then there's like a random or like a millionth Fun Loving Criminal sticker, stuff like that. It's all kind of thrown together because I've moved so much that I ended up using my summer camp as a storage facility. So a lot of the stuff is in here. And to sit to that point, a lot of the stuff isn't in the greatest condition, which is heartbreaking. And I've told these guys, like, I have posters in here that are signed by some really great artists that were framed at one point and then moved and they got pretty gnarly. So we're going to go through and see what we find. But everything in here actually has a story. So this is literally, our longevity kind of is consistent to these because we can probably go 20 years with a podcast just based on what's in these bins.
It's probably true. And like the bins that I know Twan has some and I have a few kicking around myself. So when before we started the pod, we would just like find our old shit in boxes and take videos and send it to each other. So that was kind of like when we really started to get the itch to do this, that was a precursor to it for sure. Yep. And this feels like that again. So it's kind of exciting because it's exciting for me because I don't know what's in here. I know I have ideas. I mean, I can see a couple things, but I don't know all the stuff that Nate has because Nate's just such an enigma. He could have anything in this fucking box, these boxes.
And that's what I was going to say is this is going to test our range of music knowledge, music memory, because we don't know what's in here. So, yeah, we're calling this segment Nerdery Grab Bag, which we named tonight, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know what's in there. Tone doesn't. Nate probably has a good idea. I don't know if he's gone through it, but let's get into it. So, Tone, you're up.
Oh, you want me to go? Yeah. All right, I can go.
The Nerdery Grab Bag. And these are, just for folks listening, these are how many gallon totes? 10 gallon?
These are 35 gallon.
35
each.
These are
so we got 70 gallons. There's
totes.
Two. Yeah, so there's two. There's 70 gallons of nerdery. And, range from 2000.
I'm sticking my hand in the nerdery as we speak.
Nice.
I'm not. My eyes are closed, right, guys?
Yep.
You can see me because we're
mask and everything.
Launch. Special warped issue. Newfound Glory. Can't miss hitting. The Living End. New Wizard of Oz, Weezer, Their Improbable Return, Depeche Mode, They Might Be Giants, Mello, Keith Urban. Where did you get this?
What year is
This
it?
is a Warped Tour 01.
Nice.
Warped Tour 01 CD.
It's a sampler.
Oh, it's a sampler. It's got PlayStation 2 on the back of it.
Nice.
It's a
Express your
launch.
vibe.
Launch is the company or brand.
Yep.
Launch.
Launch.com. Discover new music.
Launch.com.
Still in the shrink wrap, just for everyone listening.
Yes, yep. Taking a picture of that right now. So, Nate, where the hell did you get that?
So I went to Warped Tour 2000 and 2002 and 04, which we talked about, the 10-year. I didn't think there was a Warped Tour 01, but clearly there was if I have that, unless they threw that in the 2002. Because I went, yeah.
It says Warped Tour 01. It says Warped Tour 01 on it, and it looks like it's got, you put it on the computer. It's not even a CD. It's like I don't know if it's like one of those dual disc type things where you get some extra from it.
Oh, like extra videos and
So
stuff?
I know what it is.
Because you have one.
It's an enhanced CD,
You
and I have it.
Oh, wow. You have the same one?
I have the exact same one. So
Oh,
I just went
wow.
in the other room because I know I have it. Yeah, this was a handout at Warped Tour. What'd you say, 01 or 02?
It says 01
I
on
didn't
the
think
back.
that I went to 01. That's why I'm a little confused. But I don't have the...
Maybe Swan got it for you.
So I have this. It's an enhanced CD. It is an audio CD, but it also, if you put it in the computer, it has videos.
Remember enhanced CDs?
Well, we talked about enhanced CDs on the Limp Bizkit Significant Other
Yep, that was one.
recap.
The dual disc thing that hit me was Nine Inch Nails with Teeth was a dual disc. I have that. That was weird because you could flip it over.
It's cool. It has the system requirements on here to give context.
Yep.
Mac OS 8.1 or higher, Windows
Oh, wow.
95, Windows 98, or Windows NT. So, like, yeah, this is... I mean,
I wonder if that would even work in a computer today. I mean, where would you find a CD drive to put it in? I mean,
Yeah.
none of my computers
None
have
of them
it
have
anymore.
optical drives.
We're old, folks.
yeah, the sponsors are Target, Yoo-Hoo, Edge Active Care, Sprite, Diet Coke, Twix, all the corporate
Edge
stuff.
like shaving cream?
Edge Active Care. I don't even know what that is. Clearly a company that didn't make
I
it.
actually do remember Yoo-Hoo at Warped Tour. Like,
Nice.
you'd be at a sweaty Warped Tour, and there'd be like a Yoo-Hoo
yeah.
tent.
Nice.
And it's like, this is the last thing I want right now.
Yeah, I do love Yoo-Hoo, though.
So
But yeah.
who's on this? It's Living End, Weezer, Depeche Mode. It's all over the place. Newfound Glory is the
cover.
right?
Yep.
and they look
Makes sense
young.
that time, right? 01.
They look super young.
I mean, they were. So are we. 16, 17. Shit.
01. Yep.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool. So that's how Nerdery Grab Bag's gonna go. Took a couple pictures. I'll toss those up on Twitter. I'll probably just do a thread, one
Nice.
big thread of all these photos, so you guys can see them all if you want.
Heck yeah.
All right, who's going next?
Twan. I would go, but I
So-
want you to see how much
We're
random
going
stuff is in here.
counterclockwise, if you guys were wondering.
Yeah. Eyes closed. Mask on.
He's not looking. Ooh.
Ooh, wow.
All right.
I like
So
this.
what we
I
got
like
here
this.
is a signed CD in a jewel case, many cracks in the case, and the album is, drum roll, Seven Dust Home
Ooh.
from
Nice.
99.
Yeah, that's
Damn.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So funny, well, not funny at all. Little story about this album. I collect gold records a little bit. I have a few on my walls, and I almost bought this gold record
Nice.
this summer on
21
eBay.
years old now. 99, you said?
99.
Wow.
And double nerdery. It's not only signed, but it has a ticket stub
Oh,
in the back of the clear
God
case
damn.
Hell yeah.
from September 19th, 2003, Lupo's in Providence.
Yep. The old one.
An evening with Seven Dust. So was this like one of those acoustic?
It
like-
was.
Yep.
Yep.
I remember that. I didn't
Shit.
go. There's no price tag on this, but it was September 03.
Yeah.
Probably $15-20 for that show, I would imagine.
Is the price on there?
No.
That's my guess.
That's one of those bands that can pull off the acoustic thing because Lejean's got such a great voice.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. We saw him when one of the first shows back at the State Theater when they reopened
Yep.
in before they closed.
They were a
they
state theater.
closed,
They were a state theater
04.
house band.
They're there all the time.
Yeah.
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 It
It
was
was
like-
right before they closed, I think. It was 04.
Yep. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Wow.
So they're on Rise Records now,
Are they?
which is they're probably Rise's biggest band in terms of album sales, in terms of units moved, and they have a new album coming out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just listened to one of the songs last night. It was, or a couple nights ago. It was pretty good. This is their best album,
Totally.
Yeah, I would agree. Yep.
and this was my introduction. I didn't get into self-titled
That's
until
denial on it.
after this. Yeah.
Denial is such a
Home.
fucking awesome song. Home's a good
Rumblefish is heavy.
song. Yeah. Seven Dust.
Grasshopper
Seven Dust will
Bender.
make it. We got a cool playlist already started, guys.
Oh my
This
God.
is exciting.
Yeah.
So you must have gotten this signed at the show.
Yeah, I think that was a meet and greet for one of the shows at the State Theater. See, that's the thing. That's what I was going to say when we were doing the intro for this segment is I don't have the database that you have for where all the stuff came from, when I got it, signed stuff. It's kind of like my ticket stuff. It's just in a big box. I really should go
That
through it.
Metallica
In fact,
box?
this is kind of the start. Yeah, the Metallica box. This is the start of getting things organized because I've been gone for so long. But now that I'm home, like there's some gems in here. I'll probably be able to make a
Full
retirement.
disclosure, they're probably gonna end up at my house.
Yep.
And I'm gonna probably help with some of that.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you volunteered. Yeah, that's the funny thing.
Yeah,
Is you
yeah.
volunteered and then I hit you back up and you're like, I'm going to take you up on that offer
Yeah, no,
because
it's cool.
like I don't want to bring it back to camp and either A, we can give this away to the fans. B,
We have some stuff in here we could give away.
Yeah.
Check the socials. That might happen.
Yep. And there's some stuff that should be framed, honestly.
You might need Windows 95 or higher though. Just a heads up in advance.
Punchline, boom. So I don't know where that got signed, but I know it's a State Theater show and some kind of meet and greet situation to meet the band. Great band, by the way, sweethearts.
Oh, love them.
Yeah, always been super
I never
nice.
get to meet them.
Yeah.
I'm surprised because you're right. They were like the house band at the stage.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Being friends with Rob and how many shows we went to with him, I'm kind of surprised that never happened.
It was one of my first shows actually. State Theater. Seven Dust was Seven Dust and Static X.
That must have been.
I think it was promoting Home
99,
actually.
2000.
It was promoting Home, yeah. So it's not. I have that stuff somewhere.
And this was, I remember getting into this album, hearing Denial, 99 or 2000, and of course I knew heavy music, but this was on the heavier spectrum at the time.
So I got into them. I think it was they were at 99, right? Woodstock 99.
Yes.
So I remember watching some of that coverage on MTV at my buddy's house, and seeing them and being like, these guys are fucking awesome. And then Denial and Home and hearing stuff on the radio.
Yeah, they were that perfect crossover band that was playing like Warped Tour, Ozfest, Woodstock, you know.
And you're right. They are rangier than people think.
Oh,
because
totally.
Lejean is obviously dynamic.
Fantastic voice.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like a Corey Taylor that can go, heavy, soft.
Not a big guy either, but
That
friggin' pipes.
song on Straight Up, Angel
Yeah.
Sun.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
amazing
good
song.
song.
That really showcases it. Yeah, absolutely. Good point.
Good pull.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we got
Yeah.
Nate's up.
Mr. Nate's up.
Nate's up.
That was the album actually that we talked about a few episodes ago where I made the fake RIAA.
Oh,
plaque.
really?
It was that.
I
It was
almost
that
bought
one.
That album. That's awesome. Twan almost bought that on eBay earlier this.
Yeah,
So
it's the fake one.
Your
Yeah.
fake triple
I
RI
almost bought
triple
it because the album, I love that album. It's their best album, but the actual plaque or the record was actually, it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was for sure.
It's awesome.
All right, Nate, don't look.
I won't look.
You know where some of the stuff is, obviously, but
No, so that's the thing. I was trying to
But you
separate
threw
it,
it all back
and then I
in,
gave
yeah.
up and just threw it all in 2 bins. So 95% of this is a mystery, and then 5% of it.
except for that Papa Roach poster on top.
Yeah, that one. I was up till 3 a.m. last night trying to,
Just
grab the good
midnight
stuff.
Your time, right? You're fine.
Yeah, I was trying to grab the good stuff, and then I realized it's all good. So, all right, here we go. Boom. Get some sound effects.
ASMR.
All right, what do we
Yeah.
got? What do we
You
got?
can start an ASMR podcast. And here's Nate opening.
Ooh, I got
Oh, he's got a scroll.
I
It's a
got a-
poster.
I got a
Ooh,
poster.
This might take a second. He's going to have to put the mic down. I'll narrate. Ooh, I think I know what this is. I think I was there.
So this is what I mean by like gems that are kind of just buried in a bunch of stuff that this should be like in a tube, waterproofed. Is 9 Inch Nails Boston, Massachusetts lithograph on June 23rd in Boston, Massachusetts at the Tweeter Center.
2006?
Yep, 2006.
Yeah,
So
we were at that.
we-
I was at that show.
We went up to the show together, yeah. This is after we already saw 9 Inch Nails like 4 times.
Oh, yeah, this was probably the, fourth of 5 times or third of 4th time seeing them.
Yep. Yeah, we drove down there all in the same car, I think.
Yeah, Donnie and his brother, Toby, I think, went with
Yep,
us.
Kanger
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
Um,
That was a good time.
we had shitty seats, I remember.
did,
We were way in the
yeah.
back. But, I was, like, huge into them at the time. This is after we saw them at the Orpheum Theater twice. TD Garden as well.
Yep.
This is like the
I didn't see him at the Garden. You did. I couldn't get out of school.
and that was with Queens of the Stone Age opening,
Yeah.
which
But
was
then
epic.
we saw him at home at the Civic Center.
Yep.
We were drinking vodka and the walking into the show, pretty much.
Yes, yes.
I don't know how we pulled that off.
Yeah. Yeah, so I remember going to the show thinking like, man, this is one of those situations where we're talking about like we're older now, we can't even go to shows. This is like the 8th time seeing them like on this tour cycle.
Yeah.
Like I don't really need to go to this, but I'm gonna go
no.
because like I can and I have the money.
With
and
teeth, right? That was all for with teeth.
yeah. So yeah, this lithograph is actually like rare and out of print and shouldn't be in a bunch of literally just thrown together in this like.
Shit, another reason we're clairvoyant. Did I not just bring up the dual disc of with teeth?
Oh yeah.
Before he pulled this out, and there's no way we would have known because it's all a scroll.
Yeah.
Like, we had no idea till he unrolled it. That was Jesus. All right.
So knowing Nine Inch Nails merch and the high demand and the cult following, that's $100 bill minimum.
Oh yeah.
Minimum
there.
for sure.
Yep.
Well, a lot
Minimum.
of the posters. Like I've been trying to find the one for Portland, Maine forever. So if anyone wants
Dude,
to trade,
right? Dude,
I got one right here.
I would love to have that one. That's my one like blind spot when I was going to shows over the years is getting those
Posters.
in the moment. I wish I had.
Yeah. Well, Nine Inch Nails is like Pearl Jam or other bands that like poster was like a kind of like a one-off product.
Piece of art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too many bands have that staple item, but yeah, Nine Inch Nails, they always had a poster. Yeah, man, I haven't thought about this show in a while. I don't really remember the set list that well.
No, I'll look it up. I'll find a song or two off of it for the playlist.
But,
leave it out so I can take a photo.
Yeah, but the artwork, it's funny because it always reminds me that like, damn, Angels and Airwaves like ripped them off 99% on like everything.
Really?
Yeah.
In what way?
Just like the full optics on everything.
Yeah.
It's just very Ava. It's not a bad thing.
At nail shows, if you've never gone and if you can down the road, it's such a production. It's so cool. Like the lights and just how everything is done. The stage production is so much more than just going and listen to a band play music for a while. So definitely worth getting your hands on tickets if they're in your vicinity and you haven't seen them. Even if you don't like the music, the show itself is really cool. And I mean, there'll be a song or 2 or 7 that you know. So I definitely say it's worth checking out. That's coming from somebody who's seen them 5, 6 times probably.
So when we were introducing the segment, Nate was like, yeah, there's some stuff in here that's worth hundreds and thousands. I was like, doubt it. But
That poster is probably $100.
yeah, I think it's $100. And it's in pretty good shape, actually.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
I mean, it's all
Framed, like laid out and gotten straight again, and then framed. That would look badass on a wall. I would love to have that. Hopefully, there's 2 in there.
when I saw them. What was the Orpheum show? 05?
Yep.
Yeah.
May of 05.
That lithograph was like $40 that I bought there.
Yep.
So this was probably 30.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep.
Because
Crazy.
it's not screen printed. It's
Right.
It's a lithograph.
And the Nails does it, Tool does it, Queens of the Stone Age do it. There's a bunch of artists that do it. The Pearl Jam, a bunch of artists that do it this way, where you're gonna get something for the venue you're at or the city you're in that's wholly unique to that city, and it's a piece of art. It's you know, and it commemorates. Maybe if you were at the show, like it's something you want to hang on to and commemorate something you went to. So that's really cool. All right, am I up?
Yeah, you're up.
Yep.
Dig deep.
All right, time to dig deep. There's things that I want to pull out because I see them.
Oh, close your eyes.
I'm not
Close your
gonna.
eyes.
I know I'm not gonna. I'm just there's a fun thing right there that I really wanted to pull out, but I can't do that. I can't. Jesus, there's like 9 drumsticks. All right, I'll pull out a drumstick then, huh? Candiria.
Oh,
Vic
nice.
Ooh.
Wow, look at that.
Fine.
I want to know the story of that.
Yeah, look at that.
Hell yeah. I believe that was
All right, Nate, give us the story. When did you see Candiria, and when did you get the?
Candiria. I don't remember the date, but I know that was at the station, Portland, Maine.
Yep, pool hall.
Yep, pool hall, exactly. Yeah, so must have just got that during the gig. Don't have a whole lot of backstory. That's why I need the database. This is why we're doing this, actually. We're sorting this out for that reason.
So I can narrow it down. So
You were there?
station was 04 to 07 maybe
Yeah.
in Portland. 05 to 08, 09. I don't know. It was in that. There was a 5-year time frame that they had 2 really powerhouse local promoters that were getting big acts. Like we're talking an underground, and I say underground because it was literally underground, an underground pool hall
Mm-hmm.
that also had a music area. It wasn't even a music venue, a music area.
I know, right?
And the cap was
They never moved the pool tables. It
Yeah.
was a tiny little spot. It was
Backstage was the pool tables.
yeah,
yeah.
pretty much.
the cap was what, 400?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe less. Yeah.
So rundown. Thrice played there. Head PE, I mean, I saw Comeback Kid. I saw 18 Visions. We saw Head Automatica.
Yep.
Daryl Palumbo Glassjaw's group.
That was a great show.
The Starting Line, pop punk. And for the times, those were huge names.
Yeah.
So Candiria, I was not at that show, but Shadows Fall played.
Yep.
You know.
That we saw Hippie there.
Yeah, that was a great show.
I saw Atmosphere there. They used to do a thing called Metal Mondays that our friend Ken played in with the band Ruin.
Yep.
Which is a local metal band from around Portland, Maine at the time. I'm not sure if they're still active, but yeah, that we went to a lot of shows there. Our buddy Chris went there, Station 85. They played there a bunch of times.
Yep.
Another band from Portland, Maine, friends of ours that we grew up with. It's at our local high school. Cool little venue, but weird. So weird that you're sometimes seeing a fairly big act around all these pool tables in this tiny little spot. So it was amazing to me how that place got shows and how it lasted as long as it did. And it bums me out that it's not a thing anymore, I guess. But it was cool.
It gives me hope to what we were talking about earlier. It's like anyone can put on shows if you really put your mind to it. You know, this is a pool hall, small-time promoter, maybe not even their main gig. And, pulling in some pretty strong heavyweights for talent. But, interesting venue because it was literally a pool hall. So, you'd see the bands, next to the pool tables. If you wanted to get something signed or whatever, it was essentially if you wanted to walk up to the guy kind of thing or girl. But, I'm trying to jog my memory on this show, Candiria. I want to say it was Candiria and 6 Feet Under, but I could be wrong. I know that it was a double headline show. And
they did get a lot of heavy music there.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Maine and New England's a heavy, a heavy metal. I mean, that's why me and Twan and you are all into that, you know.
So it wasn't the show I think you're thinking of was Chimera.
Oh, it was Chimera. Okay.
Chimera and 3 Inches of Blood.
Oh, wow. You have a great memory.
And 6 Feet Under and someone else. But Candiria was a different show.
Database is totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Candiria. Sounds familiar.
Well, I remember that show because I have a press pass from Chimera.
Oh, nice. The sticky one?
The sticky one.
Sticky pass?
Yep.
Nice. Those are red.
Do you know what color it is?
Pink?
Green.
Green. Nice.
Because it was when I was working college radio.
Oh, okay. Well, they change the color every other week or something like that, right?
Oh,
That's
probably.
the way
They must have to, right?
Yeah.
So you're not using them numerous times.
Well, little spoiler alert. Some of the stuff that I put aside, maybe when I was up till 3, I wasn't sorting stuff till 3. It was probably drink a beer. I was actually watching that Joe Rogan podcast, and every 20 minutes, all right, I gotta get back on task and go through this stuff. And one of them was a pass verification poster where they have as you're entering backstage to verify it, and they said this week's color green or this week's color pink. So they changed those sticky passes every other day or whatever. Yeah. Tangent on the tangent.
Yep.
We've talked about it, I think, early episode. Candiria was one of my first heavy shows.
No way.
In 01.
Asylum?
Asylum.
Nice.
Portland. I'd have to look up who opened, but I already have ideas for the playlist. There's an early Candiria song from 98, maybe 97 with Jamie Josta.
Oh, nice, man.
That works.
Yeah.
This will be fun. The post will be, because it's going to be so much
It's going to be a total
randomness.
mixtape.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Well, this is the great thing about this exercise is if we can trace everything to where this stuff came from, we'll have the best database of all time. Because I know that was I'm 99% sure that was a station show. It might have actually been an Asylum show. I'm pretty sure that was a station show.
Yep. So Station would have gotten them.
Yeah.
They got heavy music like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Asylum was back and forth 21 plus forever, so it was hard to see gigs there.
They got stuff too.
Yeah.
Smaller venue that got some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Heavier, off the beaten path
Yeah.
stuff. So
that's the thing. It's at the end of the day, we're in Maine, there's only so much that comes through. So I mean,
if we take what you can get.
Yeah, if we lived in New York City or Los Angeles, I would 20 of these bins, you know. So.
Well, that's Mark said back on episode 7, our first interview, going into some of those places in Hollywood, just going into the garage and seeing all the stuff.
Oh my
was
God.
just sitting there.
Yeah.
All that nerdery, man.
Yeah.
He has the job I want, I think.
Yeah.
Either that or the curator of beer for Justin's last week, the beer pugs, the OC Brouhaha curator that gets. Oh yeah, I know the 3 Floyds guys. They're gonna give you a shit ton of beer. You're just gonna drink a ton before you get on the plane. Yeah, that's what I want.
Tone's referencing Mark Weinstein from Amoeba Music, and everything in these bins is what he considered as non-nerds as trash. Basically, this stuff should have been thrown out. but a lot of the stuff is I just kept it. A lot of the stuff has no relevance at all. Like a lot of it is, but a lot of it's signed, and a lot of it actually has some kind of a emotional connection to it. So I keep it. I'm like a hoarder for music, you know.
Yeah.
This is
you
like
aren't the only one.
the only time where hoarding is actually acceptable. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're not going to pull a dead cat out of here, right?
I don't know what's in here. I have no idea what's in here.
Then, I mean, if it doesn't smell like it, so I think we're okay. Then, yeah, you're okay.
I mean, it might have that old vinyl smell.
That's okay.
No,
I'm
That's
here for
fine.
that.
We're
Yeah.
used to that.
That's an interesting
We're
smell.
used to that.
That's an interesting smell.
All right, Twan.
Twan.
You ready
Let's dig deep. I'm
to, what do you
thinking.
got? Got to get that sound. Ooh.
Ooh, we got a photo.
I'm gonna
it's
pass
a
on that.
photo.
I don't know what that is.
Looks like a
Nate might know what it is.
All right, you know what?
I'm
Let's stick to what we
curious.
pulled.
I'm curious.
So it's a photo. Oh wow, it looks like Chino from the Deftones.
really.
Please confirm.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna run with that one for sure. All right, so context. It's a 3x5.
Sure, that's not just a backyard party.
It's a 3x5. I mean, you guys will see it on all the socials. 3x5 photo. Super dark. Looks like it's in a small club. I'm guessing Boston. And Chino's wearing his. So if you love the Deftones, you know Chino used to wear like the. What are those, tube socks?
Yeah.
Athletic socks
Yep.
up to his calves. He's totally wearing those, which tells me this is between 2000 and 2003.
Yep.
And it looks like, and again, I'm just going off pictures worth 1,000 words. There's only one guy in front of you, which tells me it's sound check.
Yep, that's my guess too.
Please confirm.
That is not soundcheck.
Oh,
that was
wow.
during the show. That was when I used to like.
That could be the guy at the front, like if you go over the barrier.
Yeah,
he's
security
escorting
duty.
you out.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he'd be all that secure.
No, that was
but
like my era, and this again we're dating ourselves once again. That's when you didn't have digital cameras or smartphones.
this
So
must have been a disposable.
a disposable camera.
Yeah.
It was
Wow,
it was
that's badass.
it wa-
That's never seen the light of day, guaranteed.
no,
yeah.
it's going to now.
Yeah. No, that was my thing back in the day. Is like I would every show I went to, I'd bring a Sharpie, a album cover, or like you
CD
the
booklet.
7 Dust booklet that you just brought out. I'd bring that, a Sharpie, and a disposable camera, and just hope for the best. And clearly it panned out because I have a ton of stuff. But yeah, so I just take photos. Most of the photos are junk, but I mean, like that one, for instance, I think it's like a guy's head, security guy, and then Chino in the background, but it's like super blurry.
And
But-
it's got to be right around 20 years old.
I can't confirm. This is the stuff we gotta do some like DNA analysis on all this stuff.
Oh, well, you came to the right place.
But I think this is from 03 Worcester Palladium
So for self-titled.
for self-titled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a guess, but I would say I'm 99% sure this is that's where this is from.
Wait, was that the Deftones Poison the Well
Yep.
Engine Down show?
Yeah. Wow. Holy crap, you're a
That's
nerd.
off the dome.
You're a
See,
nerd.
Was that
Twan,
it?
you almost put this picture back.
I know. You're like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, you can barely see Chino, and you
Yeah.
can see like some guitar tech handing
Upon
him the
further
guitar.
review.
Or was it Dredge?
Nope, it was Poison the Well.
That was Poison
Yep.
the Well.
Yep. So the
Damn.
fact that
Show
you
envy.
the fact that you like remember that is insane. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't think that someone that didn't go to the show knew it.
Would
Like,
that have been
that's crazy.
spring of 03? Probably, right?
Fall,
Fall?
I think.
Okay.
I think it was
It was fall.
Like then, because they put that out the spring of 03, right?
It was fall. I think it was November of 2003. We could look
when
up
did
the.
self-titled come out?
That's a great
Early
question.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Setla, you wanna pull it up on Wiki, please.
Setla.
Yeah.
The great thing about this photo is like you have to be a true nerd and you have to like the Deftones to know it's them.
Yeah.
And the only giveaway is the socks. And
May 20th, 03.
Well, that's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Did you see it but not know what was going on? Then it like jogged your memory when you put it down. Like, oh, socks. That's got to be Chino.
I don't know. I just
Because you're like, I don't know what that is, and then you.
Yeah,
then
I
you're
was
like,
like, I
oh
don't
wait,
know what that is,
I
and
think
I
I know what
picked
that is. Wait a second.
this is
One
awesome.
of my
that
favorite
is
bands.
great. I'm glad that you went back. I'm glad you went back and grabbed
It's
it.
Yeah.
total sign of the times because like Instagram is now the digital photo lab, right?
Hell yeah.
So you never see
Yeah.
printouts.
Or or they just live on your phone forever.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Polaroids are kind of hot, but
Yeah.
cool photo. You guys will see it. If you're a Deftones fan, this is Chino through and through.
Yeah, especially in that era. That was a cool era for the Deftones. They were going through some tough times. I think they almost broke up. But that was a great show. In fact, that was
You would have been at Stonehill.
I think that was
Yeah.
the first time I saw
Yeah.
the Deftones. Maybe the second, because I went to the Summer Sanitarium tour. That might have been my second time seeing Deftones.
And that was at Gillette.
Yep.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
I would
Linkin
assume
Park,
it's not a
Linkin
great
Park,
intro.
Metallica, Deftones, System of a Down,
Mudvayne.
Mudvayne. Was that all those bands?
Yeah. Yep.
Right, because it was Linkin Park and Metallica,
Linkin Park,
Metallica,
Mudvayne.
Deftones, Limp Bizkit,
Limp Bizkit.
Mudvayne.
Because they did it a couple times.
Twice. Yeah, the first tour had System of a Down.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it was a great show.
That would have been bad.
I actually had to choose from that.
That's show envy for me, too.
I only had so much money, so I had to choose from Summer Sanitarium tour or Lollapalooza 03, which was like Incubus, Jane's Addiction, Audioslave, Jurassic 5, and I went Summer Sanitarium. But
Nice.
yeah, nice
Cool.
man.
That was a good poll.
I'm happy you went back.
Me too.
So Nate's up, and we'll go around again.
Nice.
We
Yeah.
can do one more each, right?
Yeah, nice.
All right, Nate. Close your eyes, bro. Don't pull out that parking ticket from South Portland Police Department, I see. Just kidding.
Actually,
I
I'm
don't know
gonna
what
go
that
this bin. We have two
is.
bins.
Pick a different bin, guy.
Different bin.
It's a ticket from the SPPD. I wanted to pull that. That's gonna be a bonus at the end. We're just gonna talk about that one. That's a tangent. That's a tangent right there.
No looking.
Oh yeah.
Pontificating with Nate. Drawing it out with Nate.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
ASMR
go.
that
I'm trying to
shit.
go crazy deep here.
I want to go through all of this tonight,
You totally
but it
can.
would take us 17 hours probably.
Well, especially at Nate's pace.
Yeah, this is just pull one out, Nate.
Dragging it out.
All right, what's this?
Oh man.
Oh boy, that's a heavy hitter.
Ooh, here we go. Ooh, nice.
Damn.
Rage Against the Machine promo poster for Battle of Los Angeles.
Oh shit.
I pretty sure I grabbed this off the wall at Bull Moose Music.
And
I
that's
believe that.
That's a 2x3 foot.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a big one.
Yeah, 36 by 24 promo poster before they broke up. Yeah, this is when I was huge into Rage. And just getting anything from the bands, T-shirts, posters, anything was like so hard to find because they didn't put out a whole lot. So, yeah, I remember grabbing this in. I think actually this came with the album, right?
Really?
Yeah, if you bought it. But I think I actually took this one off the wall because were out of posters. But
The visuals for this album was gold. Like
yeah.
I bought it on wax in 99, 2000.
What?
Yeah, I still have it. That's where I got that slip mat.
Oh, I was
The
always
slip-
wondering where
the-
you got that slip
the
mat.
That's
vinyl
worth some
slip mat.
cash too, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
that's the original pressing. And I bought that. You know, we had a record player growing up, but I never played it.
Yeah.
The only thing is the cardboard sleeve has minor water damage. So if I ever try to sell it on Discogs, ignore what I
Yeah.
just said.
Near mint.
Yeah.
Near mint.
Near mint. Yeah. We're very, very VG, very good.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like you can see a little bit.
It's an original pressing. Some nerd would want that.
I love the slip mat though.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that
Yeah.
thing.
But this poster, it's on a scale of 0 to it's ready for garbage and 10 being it's mint. Where would you rank this?
Ooh, that's a great question. Well, if you see what's really in here, you'll realize that some are ready for garbage, but like signed
Wow.
Yeah.
and like mega platinum album band. So that's why it sucks that I moved so much because some of this stuff just should have been, stored properly. But yeah, this one's probably. You said what do you say? 1 to 10 scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably like a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got some rips. It's got some tape.
Yeah. Yeah. I could-
Although if you put some books on it and flattened it for a little bit,
It would be better. Be a 5 probably at that point.
yeah,
If
Yeah.
you flattened it out and it like lived
you
flat
might be
for a
able to
little while.
frame it. Yeah.
Yeah. Once
Yep.
it's like it's straightened
I
and
have a
stuff.
Radiohead poster that looks
Even
like
these
that.
little imperfections don't really matter that much.
Probably remember that Radiohead poster because it was on my wall at the full rotation.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Sure, Nate knows it.
The thing about this poster is they only pressed X amount,
Yep.
and it's not like a vinyl pressing where 90% of those are still out there. Like there's only maybe 25% of these still out there.
Yeah, those got ripped up and thrown away a ton of
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
places.
Promo places, or like as a kid you hang it on your wall, then you throw it out.
Pretty much. Yeah. And I think that's why at the time, like, I didn't realize what I had, and now I do. And I'm like, man, this stuff, like, some of this stuff really is worth. There's some posters in here that, like, literally, like, I did go through yesterday. I'm like, damn, this thing's actually, like, a band I don't even like that's signed. But, yeah, and the anticipation of buying this album was huge because I was so big into
Oh
them.
man, right?
And Napster was, like, on fire then, so I remember like getting a taste of what Battle of Los Angeles was going to be like. And then they broke up, shortly after, which sucks. But then they came back together recently. But
and well, they should have been finishing up. Though I think I saw a tweet the other day. They would have been finishing up the first leg of the tour.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
with Run the Jewels. Fuck.
But here, speaking of hanging on your wall, like all these posters have tape on the edge because they were literally on my wall. Like I had a notorious bedroom in high school where it was like they'd say, we mentioned Bull Moose Music a lot, Portland, Maine's a record store, local franchise, and my bedroom was basically Bull Moose. It was covered, even on the ceiling, with music posters and
I can attest to that.
random swag. Yeah,
There was a lot of stuff in Nate's room.
yeah,
A lot of nerdery.
yep.
And some of this stuff is sitting in front of us right now.
This is I want to say 50% of it. Yeah, it's one of those.
Shit.
That's one of those things.
All right, one more go around.
Yeah, one more go
All right.
around.
Looking, just sticking my hand in there and see what I can find. We've talked about these guys in the past.
What
Hey,
you got?
It's a music sampler from the band Hoobastank.
Oh shit!
As seen on tour with none other than, any guesses?
Incubus.
Incubus, yeah, weird.
Nice.
Crawling in the Dark and Better. Actually, I like both songs. So I listened to that album fairly recently when we were talking about them a few weeks back. And yeah, and they came and opened for 311, right?
Yep.
Junior year of high school, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah, I think it was
01.
junior. Yeah, I think it was spring of junior year of high school. That was fun. I think we may have mentioned that when we talked about Hoobastank last time too. But yeah, shit, that's a little promo sample. I wonder how many of those are kicking around. There can't be many.
Also, still in the shrink wrap.
Yep, kind of.
Yep.
So Nate, remember last episode you mentioned that there are certain albums or songs that bring you back,
Yeah.
and you can put yourself back.
Yep.
Well, that
Mm-hmm.
CD. Whenever I see that CD, I can think back to my car in the air freshener that I had.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like it just comes back. That's the first thing I think about because I remember that was like one of those $6.99 CDs that like
$6.97.
Yeah.
it was always
Yep.
super cheap.
Yep.
Like at Bull Moose, we talked
When it
about
came out.
Bull Moose a lot. They had discounted new releases, and you just go and clean up.
Yeah.
Well, when a new album came out, it was $6.97, and then a month later it was $9.97
Right.
or $8.97.
Yeah.
Like you definitely, as a high school kid, going to buy the album when it's new.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there was incentive to get it early. Absolutely.
$2. Every fourth album, that's another album.
Yeah.
I always time and place. This brings me back to playing poker in Mike D's basement, or I guess in his kitchen at that, or dining room at the time.
Yeah.
We used to play poker with our buddy Mike, or Guts, or AC Deucey, any of those dumb gambling games you could play for quarters with your buddies. And I had a night where I won like $40, and it got me a ticket to see Rustic Overtones at the State Theater,
Nice.
and it got me my Hoobastank CD. And we had a book that it was immortalized. Somebody drew it. It was
Nice.
immortalized in a book that we had. So, just boys being boys, giving each other shit.
So do you know where you got this? At one of those shows, probably.
Yes, that was at the Meadowbrook show, opening for Incubus. Believe it or
Of
not.
course.
As seen on tour with.
Yeah.
Wait, you're here right now?
Yeah. Yep.
Doug Robb.
Which was a few days after September 11th, and so it was kind of an interesting time. As kids, basically, we didn't know what the hell was going on. It's not like now where like there's a pandemic where like we fully understand what's going on. Like you're a kid, you're like, oh man, the World Trade Center went down. All right, well I'm gonna go see Incubus. So,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
but yeah, I think that was like the first time I heard of them and got that demo CD. So, yeah, like you said, Tone actually, it says right down there, as
The
seen
other
on tour
thing,
with
don't look
Incubus.
at that yet.
Yeah,
That's a surprise for you.
yeah. So, a long time ago, 2001, crazy.
That's a good one. All right, Twan.
Come on.
Next up,
Next up,
dig deep.
second to last. There might be a bonus. You never know. Ooh.
Stereo Lab sticker. So
Band?
I know the name,
Okay.
don't know the music. Do we want to pass this one?
We can pass on that
We can pass them. We don't know that one, but we can put them on the playlist.
They gotta have a good song.
That's the thing. There's going to be some random stuff in here that I have no idea anything about.
All right. Next item is a Incubus patch.
Ooh.
And
That's seen on tour with Hoobastank.
Yeah.
knowing the label, that's a Newbury Comics
Yep.
pricing sticker.
Wow. You're a super
Turn
nerd,
that-
man.
turn that over
You're a
this way.
nerd.
Oh yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Jeez.
Because they
Yeah.
still use that today.
And this is from January 02.
That's the date on there?
Yeah, that's awesome.
No way. Holy crap.
And this is 02, so this is self-titled. This is No, is this Morning
No,
View?
this is Morning View.
Yep.
But I associate that patch with, I don't know. Is that Morning View era?
Well, that patch may have just been kicking around.
Yeah.
And he bought it in 02 is my guess.
That's a good call.
Wow.
That might be an
18
older.
plus years
right, because
old.
that looks like an older Incubus.
Yeah,
it's like Make
Yeah.
Yourself.
Make Yourself era is what it looks like, yeah.
So we'll get a photo of that.
But yeah,
we'll put
I
that
think
on the
02 would've
socials.
been-
Man, who
would've
was
been
thinking
Morning
Incubus
View.
getting some love tonight?
I might have to toss some good Morning View tracks out there.
There is. It's a great album, actually. I remember I bought that album for so many people at the time.
I remember seeing them on the Civic Tour.
Yep.
02, yeah.
I think I had like 2 ex-girlfriends, and I bought them both. Morning View.
Yeah, and he had all kinds of whips. Lots of girlfriends.
And the opener was a band we briefly mentioned, Phantom Planet.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Jason Schwartzman.
Walked in during California, which was their big song from the OC.
Your
set.
doppelganger?
The OC
Yeah, right? Nice.
theme song, right? The TV show The OC,
Yep.
which I'm not gonna lie, I still love.
Sucker for that stuff. Hey.
I just love it, man.
okay.
It was a time and place thing.
No wonder you like the albums being made in real time. You love the reality TV.
Love it all. No, the OC wasn't. No. That was a scripted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Scripted Fox teen drama. I was a teen though.
Was it Sandy Cohen and
Yeah.
Seth Cohen?
Yes. What's his name?
Adam Brody,
Adam Brody. Yep.
Damn.
Rachel Bilson.
Yep.
Actually, here's a nerdery factoid.
Nice.
Reach the Sky, punk hardcore band from Massachusetts. They were on, one of the Punk Goes Pop albums.
Mhm.
Rachel Bilson of OC fame
Yep.
is in one of their early videos,
Wow.
and I'd love to know that backstory.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep.
I forget her character name.
Summer Roberts.
Summer, that's right. Yeah, she's in an
Sorry.
early Reach the Sky video, which is awesome.
Wow. That's like Katy Perry in the POD video.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Really? Is it?
I think I do know about
Yeah.
that. That you say it.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking
It's
about.
random, but I mean, I guess.
It's random, but it's also awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Makes me like Katy Perry more.
Yeah. Man, nerdery. That's a nerdery thing
I
right
already
there.
kind of like Katy Perry, but
Yeah. Hey. Now
Like
she
her
was in
more
POD.
now.
Yeah. Back in the day too.
Which POD video? Do you know? Southtown.
Are we talking Southtown or are we talking like later on?
I think it was.
Boom! Here comes the boom.
I think it was Boom.
That makes sense.
Yeah. We'll have to trust and verify on that one.
We'll
She was
have
kind
to,
of a rocker chick before, or an indie rocker chick before she became a pop sensation. I think.
True. Yeah.
Yep. Tangent.
You know those mashups on YouTube? There's one of Katy Perry and the metal band Disembodied. It's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
That
awesome.
sounds great. Oh man, cool. All right, that was
That
Nate.
was
You
me.
get your last one. Let's
The
go.
last one? Oh, man.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Do I want to go poster? Do I want to go promo CD? Do I want to go sticker? Do I want to go... There's all sorts
Just pull one out.
of...
Nate.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff in here.
Do you want to go all of it? Obviously, but just grab one, dude.
I'm trying to do it
You
without
got
ripping
this.
something. I mean, they're already in bad
Yeah,
shape.
don't rip anything.
don't
That's
rip 'em.
about. It's already. Yeah, you don't want that.
We don't want none of that.
Ooh, what could it be? What could it be? This would be a good spot. We could like splice in the Jeopardy music, or
That you could what?
splice in like the Jeopardy music.
Oh, yeah. All right. Not looking. Ooh.
Oh.
We've talked about this one on the podcast.
Okay.
This is a telephone promo poster that you staple to the telephone post
Yep.
for a concert
Ooh,
promotion.
I see the openers and I'm drooling.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I
Sorry.
wasn't at this show. To kind of recap on, I don't even know what episode it was, but I was at a Deftones show, and was hoping to get some autographs post-show, actually pre-show, and met this guy who had a poster that he had ripped off a telephone post for when Deftones came to the State Theater in 98.
Yeah.
Yep. And with Quicksand and Pinchifter and the Melotov, this is like super old. Clearly promoting
So
around
if
the
you look
fur.
at the wall, the quicksand poster.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that era.
Good call.
Wednesday, November 18th, 1998 at 7:30 at the State
That's
Theater.
our State Theater.
Yep.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, you can tell by the
So
sponsors.
98. That's
Around the fur.
around the fair. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Wow.
SFX
That's awesome.
tickets or SFX Entertainment. That kind of dates it right there. 420 IPA,
Oh man, I remember that
which
beer.
is like before IPAs were even an IPA
I
thing.
remember that.
Yeah.
This is one of those shows that, loving the Deftones and being from Maine, I know about.
Yeah.
And it's like I was just young enough to miss it.
Exactly.
I was too young. Like my first state show was 99, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was
I
01.
think it was 99. It just missed it.
Oh,
And
what? You saw him in 99?
No. I'm saying not Deftones
Just
show.
going
but
to the state.
just going
Oh,
to the
shows
state
in
theater.
general. Yeah,
I think it
totally.
was 99.
Shit, son. That's cool.
Yeah. So this.
As a Deftones fan, it's cool that you have that. Us not being there because we're a little too young for it. But
Well, yeah. Back to that backstory. This is a counterfeit poster because the guy had the real handbill.
so did you make this yourself?
And then, I ran down to Kinko's, FedEx Kinko's, and photocopied it. Yeah, photocopied it, and got it in color so it actually looks real.
It's like a 11 by
Don't
17.
tell anybody that,
yeah.
bro.
No, I'm not gonna sell it. This thing's staying with me.
Nah, that's cool. That's
But
awesome.
yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. I could probably counterfeit a shitload of these.
Well, I mean, this just is the same feeling I have every time I go into the State Theater and other places, or see something on a telephone pole. Can I pull that down? Like,
Yeah.
Just do
Is
it.
it-
Don't
yeah.
think about it.
and I don't know how many times I've walked out of a venue. I won't say which one. With a poster in my pocket. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
coming soon, this band. Oh, yeah, I love them. That's mine now.
Yeah.
But you put them up in the bathroom, you got to know they're coming down.
Exactly.
Right? So,
For sure.
whatever.
No, it's like we mentioned Mark earlier. Like people assume this stuff's being thrown out,
Right.
and if the show's already happening, then it's
Right.
definitely getting thrown out. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is an off chance that I met another fan. It's just literally just me and him, and it was for the Civic tour, right? Does that sound right? No, From Chaos tour. For Deftones, they rolled through. Not this poster, but they were in Portland for a tour.
Oh, not 98. 98 would have been around the first.
No, I know, but they were touring off of a different tour in like 04 or something.
Oh, when they came through?
Yeah. I want to say it was the From Chaos tour.
Oh no, you're thinking of the not From Chaos.
From
the,
Chaos 311.
The shit. What the hell was it called? Taste of Chaos.
Taste of Chaos.
Taste
wow.
of
Taste
Good
of
memory.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate the correction because I was like, From Chaos. Oh, yeah, that is 311. You guys
Yeah.
are. See, we're
Taste
all
of
nerds here.
Chaos. If that was the tour that like Thrice and
Yeah.
the
Yep.
Used came with the year before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Deftones came through. So I was out there with a poster, but this guy had this flyer. I'm like, dude, do you mind if I just run down to FedEx Kinko's and photocopy this?
That's total nerdery right there.
Yeah.
Like,
And at
yeah,
the
man,
time,
I
I
the
was
fact that he said yes and let you run off with his poster is kind of crazy too.
like, well, here's the clincher is I gave him
All right,
as the
Chevelle.
favor. As the favor, I was like, dude, I really appreciate you letting me photocopy that. You can just have this poster that I had, which was a Deftones poster from Adrenaline, which I thought I would just like replace, no big deal. And I haven't been able to find that poster ever since. So yeah, if anyone's listening, it's a quad photo poster of the
Yeah, if you guys have this stuff,
of the lineup.
give it to us.
Yeah, I cannot find it anywhere, so that guy's locked out.
So tangent from the Taste of Chaos show.
Yeah.
That was that might have been the second time I saw Deftones. That live show stunk.
Sucked.
It was awful.
Yeah.
I
So
did not go to that one.
I remember they headlined Taste of Chaos 05, 06.
Yeah.
It was in the summer at
Saturday
the
Night Wrist.
Civic Center, yeah.
Yep.
Chino was not interested. At the end of every song, he would literally drop the mic.
Yeah.
And not in a like, I just did something cool. It was
No,
like,
I'm done
fuck
with
this. I'm
Yeah.
done with this.
Yep. Yeah.
They
And
were
you can
probably
hear
in a
the
bad
plunk.
space as a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been in many bad spaces.
Because we saw him at Kabang, the three of us.
Yeah, that show.
And a few others for Setlo's bachelor party.
Yeah.
Hey, Set.
2012.
What's up, man?
Yeah.
And I thought they were good that
They
night.
were on
Like,
point.
That
Yeah.
was for Diamond Eyes, right?
Yeah,
Right
after.
around then.
That show
maybe just
ruled.
after. Yeah,
Yeah.
that show was fucking awesome.
It was pre-gore. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun. So that's the time. I think that's might be one other time, but that time I remember being memorable as far as Deftones shows go.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Twan. That show sucked. In fact, me and the guy waiting the autographs were like, they're probably not even going to come out because they're just essentially falling apart. We just like knew it wasn't a good situation, and that show was not good.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was weird. It was weird to like see one of your favorite bands in a phase like that because you just like know like the end is near, and you're like, oh, this is hard. This sucks.
Well, it's tough because like Taste of Chaos was basically an indoor Warp tour.
Yep.
Mm.
Yep.
And their sets are so short.
It was Kevin Lyman. Yeah.
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 It's so short. So you only got like 8 or 9 songs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they probably by the end of that we're
yeah.
we're not able to do what we want to do, and yeah, that's tough.
There actually is press out there somewhere. I remember reading actually post show where they're like, "Why did you do this tour?" And they were like, "Oh, we did it for the money." So they actually
Really?
admitted,
Yeah.
that they were like not interested, but they were like, "Yeah, we could take."
But I mean, now Ohms is awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The new song,
Yeah.
and
So good.
the second single is supposed to be dropping soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's rumored to be heavy. We're pretty excited about the direction they're taking right now. So, thank God they're still with it.
Yeah. stick it out.
Cool. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I gotta get a photo of that too. But
Nice.
one little bonus nerdery that I pulled out.
Oh, what?
It is a ticket from the South Portland Police Department.
What?
A warning to the dog owner. On 8/24/2001 at 14:20 p.m., which is what, 2:20 in the afternoon?
Yeah.
On Cottage Road, which is not far from where Nate used to reside. Color of the dog was black. They don't know the breed. License number, don't know. Name owner, don't know.
Did you have a dog growing up?
Yep. 2.
Oh, okay.
Somebody, the officer on this X'd the box running at large and then wrote again above it. So not the first time this had happened. And then other put an X there, wrote will return later in the evening, and it was Officer Stanley B. So check that out.
That's awesome.
That's so funny.
Wow. I don't even know how this got mixed in with nerdery, but clearly it counts because
Did they ever show back up is the question.
I don't know, but this just shows how old we are because this is like a legitimate. It looks like an antique violation. Like
It is
the
19
way it's
years
written
old.
with like the cursive and everything.
August 24th, 01. It's 19 years old, like a week ago.
Yeah,
So.
this is like how they used to do it pre like everything going digital.
Yep.
Again, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
again.
Like I'm tired of doing this, but this has happened so many
I
times.
will. I'll pop a photo of that, and we'll cross out the officer's name just to keep it clean for him. But yeah, because I don't even know that. We had a couple of officers in the school. Obviously, we knew a few of them, but yeah, don't know that guy. I don't want to blow up his spot.
You're so
But-
clairvoyant that you predicted a ticket being in here, which is like the
I
most.
saw the SPPD. No,
Oh,
I
you
saw
did?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it. Then I pulled it out because I wanted to see what it was. Because I've seen tickets like that in the past on my car. So, it is what
Okay,
it
so
is.
yeah, that was you jogged your memory.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, that was our last little nerdery tangent.
Bonus nerdery. Yeah, that was
Bonus.
fun. That was and I'm like itching to get into this.
Dude, we could go for.
I mean, these are
We
massive
could sit
bins.
here and break the podcast record for length if we wanted to, and go through.
There
every
is a
piece
lot in here.
And it makes me kind of sad because some of this stuff is like,
Bad condition.
well, some of it's
Some
Grab
of it's,
another one.
some of
Fun.
it's
You can do it.
nah.
We'll save
we
it.
could do it another time.
Yeah,
we could
save
do
it.
it another time.
I'll have to take a look through it and frame some stuff.
If I do leave
Yeah.
this stuff with you, then you guys can go through it, and I'll do digital polls. Or
We
something.
could do that again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. This is a repeatable segment for sure.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
/ giveaway.
We actually, there may be a thing or two in here we were able to give away. So keep an eye on the social media platforms over the weekend. Again, at Patio Slave on Twitter and Instagram. We'll probably do one of those, comment on it and, give a couple of friends, get them to check it out too and see what we can come up with. And then we'll pick a name at random and send you a DM. So look for that. And you never know what you're going to get. It could be something really cool. It could also be a ticket from the South Portland Police Department from 2001. So you never know.
Or a Dry Kill Logic
Match case, yeah. I had a few of those.
A whole box of them. This is a whole box of them.
I had a few of those.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's the only one of those
A
kicking
whole
around.
box of them. Holy shit.
Yeah, we should have saved that one. But
That is legitimately
Now
a
we
whole
talked about
box
it, we'll
of
take that
Dry
out for-
Kill Logic matches.
take
I'll
that
take a
out.
picture of that too. Holy shit.
Jägermeister tour. I remember
Oh
that.
man, yeah. So there's a plethora of fun shit in here, and you guys might see some of it. But yeah, that was fun, guys. And we did it together.
I know.
Yeah.
First time.
So we, as always, we get some cool stuff that we're cooking up for future episodes. No spoilers or giveaways here, but actually, I think if you like kind of what we just pulled, that era, that genre, we get a couple things in the works from that kind of time frame that I think you guys
Definitely.
will dig. No spoilers.
yeah, all sorts of good stuff in the pipeline. And, I mean, all this stuff, when you think about it, like, has some kind of backstory to it. So, clearly our outreach has some kind of,
Yeah.
like, theme, but not really, because we kind of go all over the map with,
We like everything.
record
which
store
is,
owners and stuff. Yeah.
We like everything. This is collected over a time where we would have been pulling as much off the walls as we could have been, which was our, from 16 to 25 phase.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get that time frame, which is late 90s to middle 2000s,
And beyond. Yeah. There's,
and there's more of that too.
And you can't replace this stuff. Like some of it's worth a lot, some of it's worth nothing.
yeah.
But
I know
even the
that
stuff
I
worth,
wanted that science.
even the
mask.
stuff worth nothing is
Don't.
you couldn't
there's so much
replace
cool
it.
shit here.
You couldn't replace it.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening, guys. And if you liked what you heard, keep an eye on the socials. You may have a chance to win something.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we're going to get rid of a lot of this stuff. And a lot of it's good. It's literally like you might luck out and get like a signed poster that I
Yeah,
just.
you never know.
Yeah, that's kind
Whatever
of
Nate's cool with giving
a
up.
random
I mean,
pull. Yeah. Well, I was mentioning that. What was that trading card thing where like you watch live and you?
Oh yeah, they do this with all. Yeah,
Yeah.
you might pull a card that has an autograph on it, like a Tom Brady rookie with an autograph.
Yeah, I'd be interested in doing that. Like this.
You might get a Chino Moreno rookie card.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at something that was on a segment. You know.
Yeah,
This
true.
was on a segment.
That's, dude.
Yeah, this is
That's fucking cool. I
Yeah.
want that.
that was on a segment. So
Oh shit.
I'm not going to mention what that is, but
Yeah.
yeah. So
Cool.
It's been real. This has been great. You guys, you have 2 bins. You're going to store for me.
Yeah, we'll find a place for these.
Nice. That's it's nerdery, so it's worth it, right?
Totally.
Oh, totally. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, you can't replace this shit. But
No.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, thanks all. Thanks
Yeah.
for tuning in.
Peace, podheads.
Check us next week.
Cheers.